This one's not over yet, but it is getting dire for the Cougars as we're set to go in this third term. McGibbon with the tap out over the front that time. Trying to get there first is Jordan Perry and did well. Handballs it to Langbourne, who sends one out towards the wing. William Road there. Couldn't pick it up. Doing well was Daisley. Handball back over his head is good to Corelli. And now to Young. They worked that well. Did the Borough. Young sends one down the line looking for Will Dean. Boscarini coming in over the top as well. But the ball is out of bounds just forward of centre for the Borough.
Promising start from the Cougars, winning their first clearance. As we mentioned, they need to make an amends in that area.
They will look to get the first couple of majors in this third term, Northcote Park. Ball falls to the back of the pack. Getting their first, McArdle couldn't gain possession though, but now the Cougars win it out. Handball over the top from Stevens, looking for Road. Corelli in underneath it as well. Coming in hard was Langbourne at the middle of the pack, and we will toss it in. Centre wing in front of the gazebo out here for the Eltham Football Club. Lovely hosts today have been the Eltham Football Club as they are doing the Division 2 finals. First 3 week of the Division 2 finals. Kisane gets the handball over the top. It's wrapped up by O'Brien though, trying to send the ball forward for Northcote Park. It's a tumbling ball. Doing well was Fandrich. His kick is smothered off the boot though by Haywood. And we'll have it tossed back into play. Just coming unstuck at the last moments at the moment for the Cougars.
For sure, and I think there's promising signs early to the start of this half as Fenrich just got a bit of space and put it on his left foot, but as you said, a superb smother from Haywood.
Boundary umpire tosses it back into play. McGibbon at the front of the pack. Punch-on did well with the bodywork. Jordan Perry with the fend-off, and now the handball out to O'Brien. Chipping ball inside the forward 50. Michael Ahmad, front of the pack. Doing well was Akui. Wrapped up is Matt Perry. Handball to McArdle. Akui providing the pressure once more. It falls to Matt Perry once again. Right foot floating ball towards goal. Is narrow. First score since the first quarter, I should say, for Northcote Park. It's a minor score, though. As the Borough move it on quickly now. Corelli sends it out of there, looking for Eames, but the ball goes over his head and goes over the boundary line. 40 points even lead for St Mary's. Boundary throw-in. Centre wing once again. 2.5 gone, third term. Bright start early, though, for Northcote Park. It's good to see. McGibbon with the tap out that time. Doing well was Langbourne, handballing it, but it's wrapped up instantly. The Cougars just need to find a bit of space, Jack.
Yeah, for sure. And again, I think there's been promising signs with a couple of early stoppage wins.
But Kitchell wins it out this time for St Mary's. Sends a high ball inside the forward 50. Nicholas Dean standing underneath it. Almost took the mark. Doing well, though, at the bottom of the pack. There's a lot of Cougar defenders coming through. Retreating kick out of there. William Rowe did well. Daisley also in that one-on-one battle. Lots of bodies coming in hard, though. Streaming through was Young, who sends a ball to grass. No players in sight. And that one will be called a boundary throw-in. Toss it in on centre wing broadcast side in front of the Northcote Park interchange gates. They are 40 points adrift and would have had a lot to chat about at the half-time break. Ponchon at the front of the pack gets the tap down, but we're going nowhere. We'll ball it up again. McGibbon and Ponchon. McGibbon over the front that time with the right hand. Doing well was McArdle to wrap it up. Sends a snapping ball forward. Going down was Young. Trying to ricochet it. There's a lot of bodies in underneath this pack. The umpire lets go for a fairly long time, but now calls for a ball up. Just forward of centre for the Cougars. McGibbon over the top. No one really goes for it. Kasane gets the handball to Reed, who sends a high ball. Didn't really go that far. Trying to take the mark over the top was Kitchell. But now doing well, Will Dean sends it out of there as the ball just is seen over by Dan Tallaridi.
I think one early shift I've noticed from a Cougars perspective is they're going to how they were early in the first quarter, trying to isolate Michael Ahmad. One out in the forward 50, but a tough task against Domakui.
Ball is tossed back into play now. It's a flat boundary throw-in. Trying to win it out is Lachlan Reed going in hard. Doing well, though, was Langbourne. Sends the handball out to McArdle. Chipping ball down the line is good to Matt Perry. Couldn't take the mark on the second juggle, though. Did really well to keep it in. Handball to Langbourne is wrapped up by Butera. And the umpire says holding the ball. It's pretty unlucky, I would say. Free kick going the way of St. Mary's. Butera, the recipient of the free kick. Wheels around onto his right boot and sends a high ball towards the paint of the 50 for the Borough. Coming in hard, front of the pack. Free kick is going the way of Northcote Park, it looks like. And they send it out towards the far side. Road with the good bodywork. Trying to get there first is Cromie. He's trying to pick it up. It's a bobbling ball, though. Couldn't pick it up. And now St. Mary's might look to retreat. Diving in hard. And it might be a holding the ball free kick for diving on top of it. It is. Against Huon McGibbon, that was. And now Cromie looks to be the recipient of the free kick. Sends a high ball down the far wing. Apostle standing underneath it. Can't take the mark, though. Good fist at the back of the pack. Wrapped up is Young. Good tackle from O'Brien. Umpire does wave play on, though. Handball from Stevens going to ground. High contact free kick. Michael Ahmad, the recipient of the free kick. He did go to ground, but the umpire said it was still too high. Ahmad is probably about 50 metres out. Tough kick, but he has slotted 38 for the season.
Yeah, spot on. If anyone's going to get them going in this second half, it's going to be him. Well held in the first half, especially by Cooey, who we mentioned, but this is his chance to get his team back in the contest and draw first blood in the second half.
Huge kick in the context of this one for Northcote Park. Michael Ahmad, slow build up. Comes in now, his kick is up. It's a high one towards the goal line. It doesn't actually make the trip. Benjamin Young takes the mark. There was no Cougars on the goal line. And it's all a little bit too easy for the Borough at the moment. Chipping ball out wide towards Akui. It's a bit stagnant at the moment here at Eltham Central Park. Akui just wheels around onto his right boot and sends a high ball down the far side. Streaming across was Little, who had an acre of space, really. It became an uncontested mark in the end. And St. Mary's are just doing all the right things at the moment. Little, ball down the line looking for McGibbon. He was pushed out of it. Umpire waves play on, though. Coming in hard was Kisane. Gets the handball out to Will Dean. High ball down the line and trying to see it over, but it stayed in play. Apostolo just slaps it on forward. Will it work out now for the Borough? Stepping through was Nicholas Dean. Ball inside. McArdle taps it on. Lots of bodies underneath it. Cotter now. Can he get the shot at goal? He does. But he misses to the left-hand side. They're looking dangerous, St. Mary's, once again.
Yeah, spot on. They go inside 50 and they get a good look at goal, but the Tane Cotter snap just faded to the near side for a minor score, and the Northcote Park are looking to exit defensive 50 really quickly, which is a good shift.
They are on this broadcast side. High ball down the wing. Coming across. Easy intercept mark taken at the end by Lachlan Reid. Looking for an option further afield. Sends a dart. It's a lovely kick. And in space was Will Ryan. What a lovely pass that was from Lachlan Reid as Ryan pops it over the top for McGibbon, who's got it lace out. 25 metres out. 45-degree angle. He will line up for the Borough's 8th of the afternoon.
As you said, Nicholas, it's just all too easy. It starts with two 20-metre chip marks, just straight over the man on the mark. So I think they've just lost their way with their defence, it looks, Northcote Park. So, again, not the easiest of kicks for McGibbon, but the afternoon he's having, you'd back him in from here.
Huon McGibbon for his first goal of the afternoon. The St. Mary's vice-captain. Comes in now. His kick is up and it's poor off the boot. He's just registered it behind. 42-point lead, an even 7-goal lead now for St. Mary's, courtesy of that Huon McGibbon behind. As the Cougars look for an option. Chipping ball is good. It's in the hands of Matt Perry now. He needs to stand up in this last quarter and a half if the Cougars are any chance of making a comeback. Perry. Long ball down the line, looking for Fokos. No real winner out of it that time. Picked up by Dambrauskas. He's wrapped up instantly and will ball it up again. Centre wing. Pavilion side of Eltham Central Park. Little and Punch on gets the tap out that time. Langbourne did well. Keeps it in bounds. Ball down the line. It pitches out in front of Matt Perry. Doing really well. And now Perry. Ball inside the forward 50. Can Armstrong get there? He can. Takes the mark. Holds it up. He will line up. A very important kick. He wants to look to kick it quickly as well, does Ben Armstrong.
Yeah, important he just goes through his routine, but Matt Perry, that's the kick of the afternoon. He just wheeled onto his left and just sort of almost used the pitching wedge there in golf terms, and good lead from Armstrong, and this is a must convert for him.
Ben Armstrong taking a few nice marks this afternoon. 20 metres out, slight angle. Big kick for the Cougars. If there are any chance this afternoon, Armstrong comes in. It's there. They have finally got their second goal of the afternoon, Northcote Park. The drought is broken, and they need to get on a roll here. St Mary's 7-9-51 plays Northcote Park 2-3-15 on your NFNL's match of the day, Jack.
Yeah, just as we hit 11-minute mark of the third quarter, the margin back to 6 goals, and for the dominance that St Mary's have had, they'd like to have a few more goals on that tally. So, look, if anyone can close this deficit, it probably is Northcote Park. So, I think they're just going to have to chip away at it. It's going to take all game, but I'm interested to see how the Borough respond.
Ball back in the middle of Eltham Central Park once more. Doing really well was Punch on. He's wrapped around in a tackle. Umpire waves play on, though. Trying to get the ball forward. The Borough, but it's picked up by Tallaridi. And we'll toss it up again in the centre of the ground. Little tries to slap it forward. Picked up now by Jordan Perry. Did really well. Sends the handball out to Hatfield, who sends it down the line. Trying to take the mark was Kakaro, but a good spoil at the back of the pack from Dembrauskas. He tries to pick it up now. Coming through the pack hard. And now it's held up. Lots of bodies there. We will ball it up again. 36-point lead for St Mary's.
Another big boost for Northcote Park is Leo Mad is back on the ground after his yellow card in the second quarter.
That is a big boost for the Cougars as they try and win the clearance out that time, but it's picked up by Kitchell, trying to get the handball out to Cotter. He's wrapped up by William Road. The umpire just calls for a toss-up before the Cougars could get it out. 6 goals adrift are Northcote Park. Trying to pick it up was Langbourne, but couldn't gain clear possession in the dirt. Big tackle wrapped up. It's a dangerous tackle. Free kick is going the way of the Borough. And on the ground there, it looks to be Joshua Corelli. Slow to get up. He is at his knees now. And now he's on his feet, which is good to see. Free kick going his way. Had a good afternoon, has Joshua Corelli for St Mary's. Wheels around onto his right boot and sends a high ball down the line in an acre of space as McGibbon, or Apostle it is, I should say, takes the easiest of chest marks. Chipping ball over the top inside the forward 50, looking for Kitchell, but it is out of bounds on the full. And now the Cougars look to switch it. Armstrong's got a bit of space now. Doing really well and affecting the spoil, Nicholas Dean. But Armstrong can move it on towards Matt Perry. Moving it by hand now. Bryson Norris sends it inside the forward 50 for the Cougars. Michael Ahmad with the bodywork and takes the mark. Probably the best passage of play of the afternoon for Northcote Park. And Ahmad will line up 35 out slide angle.
Yeah, spot on. And what a kick it was. Michael Ahmad identified space behind Tom McCooey, sort of held it and timed his bump to perfection. And brother Leo wanted the pace of it coming out of the goal square, but when he realised it wasn't his ball, he drifted away and let Michael take the mark.
To bring it back to 30 points, this is a big kick for the second of the quarter and the second in a row for Northcote Park. Slow build up from Ahmad. He comes in now. His kick is up. It looks to be home. It is. It's an important goal. The Cougar fans love it. They're back to 30 points. And maybe, just maybe, they might be starting to build a little bit of momentum.
Yeah, for sure. Second goal of the quarter, and the Borough yet to register a major. And it just feels like there is a slight momentum shift. Whilst the play is pretty even, I just think it's in a flip of the script, Northcote Park making the most of their entries, and it looks like they've tied up in front of goal.
A lovely finish from Michael Ahmad. brings us back to 30 points. He has been very good on the season. That was his 39th goal on the year. As we're back in the middle of Eltham Central Oval, doing well was McGibbon with the tap out, trying to come through the pack. Jordan Perry did really well and found McArdle in a bunch of space. Now they're moving inside the forward 50 once more, but Dom Akui coming across, couldn't take the mark. Umpire waves play on. Stevens now is wrapped up. And we will ball it up inside the forward 50 for Northcote Park, and maybe there's just a little bit of heat back into this affair. Ball is tossed up. Ponchon over the top. Moving it forward by hand. Kick away. Just couldn't get good connection. Michael Ahmad. And now trying to get there first is Kakaro. He's wrapped up. Payne of the 50. Meets the boundary line. Far side for Northcote Park. We've gone 15 minutes in this third quarter. If they can keep it at this margin, they might have a flying shot going into the last. But if they can get even closer, they will be very happy. McGibbon with his handball over the top to Dean is really good, but he slipped over as he kicked it. It looks like it might have been smothered off the boot of one of the Northcote Park players, so it is a free kick going the way of St. Mary's. Dean sends the ball down the line for the Borough once more. Coming across, good work from Talaridi. Try to get the handball away. There's lots of bodies underneath it. And they do get it out now, the Cougars. A high spiralling ball towards the forward 50. Good mark taken by Jake Hailwood for St. Mary's. A lovely backing back intercept mark. And they might just try and settle things down. Ball out wide. Coming across, well done from Punchon. He sees it out of bounds. On centre wing, far side, 16.5 gone, third term.
Yeah, it feels like the contest is starting to even up a bit, but it's still only 2 goals for Northcote Park, still a long way behind.
Boundary umpire tosses it back into play. Punch on with the tap out that time. Lots of bodies underneath it. He did well to get his own handball out, but Tarwin Wareni streams through the pack now. Pucella might be wrapped up. He's caught. Holding the ball, free kick going the way of the Cougars. They move it on quickly now. McArdle looking for an option inside the forward 50. Ahmad is on the lead. It doesn't hit him though. Tries to pick it up on the half volley. Did well. McArdle trying to retreat once more, but Ahmad picks it up now. Streaming inside the forward 50. High ball towards the goal line. Will it get there? It's seen over for a minor score. Good defensive work at the end of the day there by Hailwood. And St. Mary's do catch a break. Corelli moves it on quickly and sends it out of there. And in plenty of space is Nicholas Dean. And moment there for the Cougars, which just didn't work out. It's now in the hands of Rennie. He sends a switching ball out towards Dambrauskas. He moves it on further afield, looking for Nicholas Dean. Ball is just over his head, though. Can Bryson Norris get there? He did well, but he's wrapped up by Dean. Ball spills out in the pack, though. Underneath it for the Cougars was Langbourne. Ball's bubbling around now. And we'll toss it up again. Almost 18 gone. Coming towards the final stages of this third term. The Cougars have brought a little bit of life back into this one. Ball up again. McGibbon with the right hand that time. Ball's just bobbling about. It's gone a little bit further afield. Picked up now for St. Mary's. Kissane underneath it, as is O'Brien. He sees it out. Boscarini it was. We'll toss it back in. Big moments in this first qualifying final. Boundary umpire tosses it back in now. Front of the pack, Norris did well. Dean underneath it. He's wrapped up by Norris. We'll ball it up again.
Just feels like it's that stagnant point of the match where it's just stoppage after stoppage. But in the Borough attack, they would love to get a major on the board here.
O'Brien sees it out. Good handball to Jordan Perry, who sends a high ball down the wing. McGibbon stands underneath it. Couldn't take the mark. Coming across Butera. McGibbon trying to pick it up now. Couldn't though. And it's a throw called. He just probably accidentally threw it. But it is a free kick going the way of the Cougars. Leo Ahmad moves it on quickly now. Ty O'Brien in a bit of space. Is there an option inside forward 50? Ahmad provides the lead away from Akui. Ahmad coming across. Akui bumped him out of it. It is a free kick going the way of the Northcote Park full forward. Here's a chance for his second of the quarter and to bring the Cougars back to 23 points.
Yeah, really, really interesting choice to go for the bump there for Dawn McCooey, especially with that entry from Ty O'Brien. It wasn't the best entry, and look, I don't think Michael Ahmad was going to mark it, so to end up with a pretty cheap free kick is a big win for them.
Michael Ahmad lining up now for goal to bring it back to 23 points. His kick is up. It looks to be going to the left, and it is. Minor score. 28 point lead, I should say, in favour of St Mary's now. If they can get to three-quarter time without conceding another one, they'd be pretty confident with their chances going into the last, as Benjamin Young just wants to slow things down, bring lots of bodies towards this far side, but it's pretty evenly spread across the field. He does go to the far side in the end. Leo Ahmad coming across, couldn't take the mark though, as it is seen out of bounds now by Kieran Abbott. We've gone 20 minutes in this third quarter, and it is St Mary's still by 28 points, but they haven't kicked a goal this third quarter, interestingly enough.
No, just the two behinds for the Borough this term.
McGibbon at the front of the pack takes it out of the ruck. His handball falls to Tarwin Rennie, who did really well. Now he puts a bit of leg speed on and sends the ball down the line once more for St Mary's. Well done, though, by the Northcote Park defence as they send the ball forward once more, but no one was really looking for it, and a choose to spoil from Jake Hailwood might come poorly. Trying to pick it up now is Fandrich. The ball's bobbling around. He does pick it up, but his handball goes to no one. Abbott with the handball to Kassane, and now out to Young. Here's a free kick pushing the back, going the way of Connor Kassane. Risky moments for St Mary's, but they will walk away with a free kick. Kassane goes back to Nicholas Dean, who might just be playing in defence for this last few minutes. Corelli sends the ball further forward. Dambrauskas tried to pick it up on the half volley. He's wrapped up in a tackle. The umpire says we'll ball it up.
Definitely notice a shift in mentality for the Borough. Looks like they're just slowing the game down, happy to sort of take that 5-goal advantage in the three-quarter time, but got to be careful if there are a couple of missed kicks. It could backfire pretty quickly.
Holding the ball, free kick against Matt Perry. It is moved on quickly, but it will be out of bounds now. Just forward of centre for the Borough. If the Cougars can muster up another goal before three-quarter time, they will have a bit of confidence going into the last quarter. But at the moment, it is still at a manageable 28 points for St Mary's. Punch on at the front of the pack, can't get the tap out. O'Brien tries to come through. Picked up now by Corelli. Reed it was wrapped up, holding the ball, free kick going the way of the Cougars. Ball down the line is poor though. Intercept mark taken by Kieran Abbott, who decides to just chip it over the top. It's now in the hands of Corelli. Just decides to pop it over the top once more. No mark taken by Little. Good work coming across from McArdle. And we will throw it back in. Still on that far wing. Just forward of centre for St Mary's. Not much longer left in this third quarter. Just about 2 minutes left on the clock as we're wrapped up again.
Nicholas Dean playing a loose man in defence for the Borough. I think Northcote Park would be keen to even up the numbers in that contest.
Little over the top of Punch-On. Can't really get the tap out though. Rennie just tries to kick it forward and only falls as far as McArdle. Handball to Poscarini and now to Perry, who has a lovely option in Ben Armstrong out on this broadcast side. He looks to send a high ball out towards the pocket. Leo Ahmad, front of the pack. Dean did really well though. And a clearing kick from Butera, but it will be coming back. It's out of bounds on the full. Bryson Norris will be the recipient of the free kick. Looks to send it. Did look to switch, but changed his mind in the end. Now a high ball towards the top of the 50. Ahmad underneath it. Good fist at the back of the pack from McCooey. Picked up now by Charlie Fawcett, who's wrapped up in a tackle. That'll be holding the ball. Good tackle laid by Tarwin Rennie. Dispossessed him at the right time.
Yep, and it's that St Mary's outnumber in their defensive 50, which lets them come away off the ball. Just too much for Michael Ahmad to do.
Rennie has Corelli in an acre of space. And he chips one over the top. It's a poor kick, though. It's intercepted. And now the Cougars look to move it on quickly, but there's no option there. Young with a double fist. Could have taken the mark, but he chose to fist it. Corelli chipping ball over the top now to Kassane. And now just another sigh of relief for St Mary's. It's in the hands of Connor Kassane. He sends a ball down the far wing once more. Just played the percentages. Little couldn't take the mark. Big pack of players stand underneath it now. Punch on. Lays the tackle. Try to get it out now. Do St Mary's. Little kick as he's being tackled from Daisley. But we'll ball it up again. We've almost gone 25 minutes in this third quarter. Just under a minute to go. So the Borough will not want to do anything silly. Wrap-up tackle from Corelli. So the Cougars will still have a mountain to climb, but it's a better picture than we were seeing at halftime. But the Borough have one more foray forward, maybe. No, but it's cut off. Intercept mark taken by Bryson Norris, who looks to switch it up. Maybe one last slingshot attempt for the Cougars. Fandrich has it. He's about 80 out from goal. Is it a 50-metre penalty? It is! He'll kick after the siren. Ricky Fandrich. That is a huge blow for St Mary's. He'll line up from probably about 25, 30 metres out directly in front. And this is a massive kick in the context of this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we're starting to see a bit of panic settle in for St Mary's. Just that double fist spoiler we saw just a couple of minutes ago. They've gone and saved the game mode already, it seems. I'm really interested to see what Jack Byanchin's message will be at the three-quarter time address.
Siren sounds. Fandrich coming in. He kicked the first of the afternoon for the Cougars. Can he pop this one through now? His kick is up. It's a flat kick, but it's home. Fandrich pops it through, and the Cougars are back to 22 points. They kicked all 3 goals in that third quarter. And maybe, just maybe, we do have a game again, Jack.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a twist in the tail of the context of this game. And we sort of called it. We thought Northcote Park might come out and all guns blazing. That they did. 3 goals in that term and keeping St Mary's to just the 2 behinds. And the margin sits at a reachable 22-point deficit. All to play for in the final term.
As you did say at halftime or the start of that third quarter, Northcote Park were just able to defend the inside 50 entries for St Mary's that they weren't really able to do in that second quarter. As I